Three.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
That
We're never going to get this first
we need
try.
to practice.
Okay.
In our own time.
3, 2, 1.
Perfect.
That was good. Yeah.
Welcome.
This is the Upper Room Podcast, so we explore and share ideas. Let's get into it.
This is episode
This is episode 2.
number 2. Yes.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah.
We're not going to explain where we've been.
Just know that when we recorded episode 1,
Yes.
it was spring.
Yeah.
Now it's summer.
They know. They know.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. Roll the intro.
Oh, you're getting the vaccine because you don't trust God.
Is making a physical effort questioning your trust in God? Are you putting your faith in the doctors or in the knowledge that God gives them?
Sometimes it feels as if they're competing for the saving of lives.
So today's episode is modern medicine versus miracles, or miracles versus modern medicine. However,
It was actually meant to be
It's a-
miracles against modern medicine.
Yeah.
But you do
Sure.
you, Chief.
okay, I'm sorry. Talk us through. You came up to me with this one, so talk
Yeah,
me
I
through.
did because I'm a DipoLife member and I frequently attend the GCK.
Yeah.
And a common theme that there is in the GCKs, which you should totally go and check out.
Yes.
Common theme that there is in this GCKs is the theme of healing.
Yeah.
And something that came up on the internet, which is a shared sentiment actually amongst
Okay.
doctors,
Okay.
some doctors, some,
Yeah.
is the fact that whenever they do good, it's God that gets the glory and not them.
Okay.
So there was this kind of faith against modern medicine.
Interesting.
Some people think that God doesn't exist, of course, and it's all medicine's work.
Yeah.
Others think.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
What do I think? Well, I actually wasn't aware of the I don't know if it's like a thing that like doctors feel like they aren't getting the credit for.
Of
Things.
course, it's not something that's very spoken about.
Yeah.
But I do know of some people that told me personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like as a doctor, not me, I'm not a doctor, but like if I was a doctor, and I saw the condition of my patient and I was like, there is no way that anything can go according, like this is detrimental. Like I don't see how there's a way out for you. And then something does happen and then they are healed or things start improving. I don't think that should be something that you can take the credit for. In those extreme cases where it's very obviously a miracle, like the type that we do see on like
Yeah,
the GCK
yeah,
stuff,
I
where
know,
it's
I know.
like last night I was this way, now I'm completely healed.
Yeah.
Those are like, no doctor can take credit for that. That's obviously a God thing. But then you've got, I don't know what these other cases
The
are.
ones in between where, I don't know, maybe you were badly injured and you've been gone through 12-hour surgery. Surgeons have to stay on their feet for 12 hours operating on you.
Yeah.
And they save your life. And then they say it's God's doing. This is exactly how it's been phrased to me.
Okay.
That the person said it was God's doing without acknowledging the work of the surgeons.
Okay.
And that frustrated them.
For sure, the surgeon?
I'm not going to say names, of course, but
Okay,
you know,
okay. Yeah.
it frustrated them.
Okay.
So I do think that we do need to give credits to doctors. However, something that's been made very clear is that only God has power over life and death, which is shown through Jesus' resurrection.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And that's the reason why we should actually go with both. But what about people who believe that it's only faith? Because I know some people, definitely, that regardless of what happens, they think that doctors can never do anything for you.
Yeah.
And it's only God's doing.
Yeah, like people that don't seek medical attention for
Yeah.
anything.
You know, people who just separate themselves from society.
Okay.
I do believe that, you know, just like Jesus said, if you had the faith small as a mustard seed, you can move mountains. Yeah, if you prayed about it,
Yeah.
a miracle would happen.
Yeah.
But do you think it's right for somebody to simply reject modern medicine? It's complicated.
That's a sticky one, I'm not gonna lie. Because It's I don't know, because the way that I think through it, the only comparison that I have is like, and this could be completely wrong, completely out of line, but it's almost like, say I have an exam and I just have faith that I'm gonna do well on this exam,
Oh God,
and
I
I
just finished
just
my exams.
and and I just, because of my faith, I just don't revise or do the
I
preparation.
promise you, there was some people that were saying that revising is just a question in God's abilities.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, is making a physical effort questioning your trust in God? I don't think that's always the case. I don't think that because I trust God, I shouldn't study my exam or take an ibuprofen pill. So yeah, I don't know where, I don't know, I guess I don't know where to draw the line, because I feel, okay, this is what I would say. I think take medication, go to the doctor, like, do try to stay healthy and monitor your health. Modern medicine is a beautiful thing. Back in olden days, people would die of the common cold, literally.
Yes, yes.
So like, we should be grateful for medicine, and it is a thing that we should be grateful for. But I don't think you should rely on it. Don't put your faith in medicine or like stuff like that, because when those things fall through, and they will,
Yeah.
you do have a greater thing to fall back on, which is God's mercy and able to
Greater physician.
a greater physician. Amen,
Yes.
brother. So yeah, I think don't discard medicine. We need medicine.
Definitely.
God put medicine on this planet.
Yeah, that's literally something I wanted
You know?
to touch on.
Yeah.
John 9:6-7. Read that. Because that's really one take on medicine that it's staring at us.
John 9:6-7. Right. After saying this, he spit on the ground, made some mud with the saliva, and put it on the man's eye. Go, he told him, wash in the pool of Siloam. So the man went and washed and came home seeing.
So yeah, this is a great example of Jesus quite literally administering medicine with a blend of his divine nature, of course, because
Okay,
no
okay.
physician in the world is going to spit on the ground, touch you
Yeah.
with it, and then make you
They
whole.
don't do that here. No.
But
Yeah.
it's the same Jesus that would tell people to stand up and walk.
Okay.
Why wouldn't he have done the same thing to this man?
Okay. So you're saying that
If God hated medicine, he
Okay.
wouldn't have done this.
yeah, and I don't think God hates medicine.
I think God's love medicine, you know.
Yeah. It's again, it's I think it's people's way of sustaining health, and just trying to, same way that we have food that we eat,
Yes,
we
yes.
need medicine to keep us, healthy. And at the end of the day, medicine isn't something, you can't even say that medicine is like a man-made thing, because the knowledge to make medicine and let it work and to actually make differences, that knowledge comes from God.
Yes.
So I do think, even when you made an example earlier of surgeries that happen, and after the surgery, like, all praise goes to God and nothing goes to the surgeons. And
It's not nothing, but you know.
yeah, I mean, it sounded like
That's
they
what
don't
they
get
made it
as
sound
much
like.
credit.
Yeah,
Yeah. I definitely feel like every good thing comes from God, right?
Exactly.
So I do see the argument of, like, if you've schooled for years and like you've done the work, you're in medicine, and then you've done a great surgery, and now all of a sudden you're not getting any credit for your surgery. There is a place of humility that you need to, visit, where, like, you thank God for using you to save a life,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because the way it said it, it felt as if it was a bit, you know, as if this hurt his ego.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wasn't being humble about it. So
Yeah.
I guess that's it. Something else I wanted to discuss, which is a bit hotter in terms of topic.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's turn the heat up.
What do you think on vaccination? Yes.
you're gonna
Many
take me
people.
back to 2020,
Ah,
height
mask
of
offs.
height of COVID-19, where there was the world was split. The world was split.
Pro-vaccine, anti-vaccine.
Yeah, there's people that just really hated vaccines.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
people that were like,
Get the vaccine.
just get the vaccine. It's medicine.
I think that's the reason why COVID-19 lasted for so long.
Because people were stubborn about the vaccine.
Yeah,
Possibly.
we couldn't achieve herd immunity, which you can Google that. That's a scientific
Yeah, I think I
fact.
know what herd immunity. I'm
Say
gonna
it right
try and say it to the best of my abilities. Herd immunity is basically trying to get a good portion of the population to be immune to a disease, so that it slows down the spreading of the disease. Basically,
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
yeah. So that the
Congrats.
more people that are immune to it, the less people can then transmit the disease to other people. So not everyone in the population needs to be immune to it, but the more people that are immune to it, the less
better.
likely the disease can spread across
You
the.
achieved 3 out of 3.
Thank you. I studied chemistry, biology. What does this fall under? I don't
I'm
know.
not going to tell you.
Good.
That was practice pointing.
Okay.
0 out of 3 now.
So yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
what's your take on vaccines? Because it's something that people are very emotional about. Some people
Really?
believe, yeah, some people believe that vaccines cause autism, although it's been shown not to. But some people think that it can cause other issues,
Okay.
so that they believe that the the cons outweigh the pros.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
cons outweigh the pros.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Should somebody who's Christian be vaccinated?
That's you added a whole new layer to that question. Wow.
I ain't gonna let you slide that quickly.
So so basically is taking the vaccine, showing that you don't trust God, right?
That's-
Is you seeking external, man-made.
Yeah, because
Like help.
you haven't got this disease yet.
Hmm.
You're thinking that you might get it, and if I do, I want to be vaccinated.
Okay.
So what do you think?
What do you think the difference is? I'm gonna answer your question with a question, because truthfully, I don't know if I have like a clear-cut answer to this.
Right, right.
And if you do, please
Comment it
share.
down below.
Honest share. Where do you think the line is between having no trust in God and just being cautious?
Ooh,
You know,
that is a good
when I'm in a car, I don't not put my seatbelt on because God's got me. You know, I'm still safe. I'm still cautious. I still put the seatbelt on. When I'm riding a bike, I put my helmet on. You know, like just because I do those things doesn't mean I don't trust God won't help me if things go wrong. It's just, I feel like it's caution. You know, there's a reason why you wash your hands. There's a reason why you brush your teeth. You don't. I mean, obviously, those are more like hygienic things.
Yeah, true.
You know, that's different, I guess. But I like the seatbelt analogy better, where it's like you
Where
don't.
cross the line.
Yeah, where's the line between just trusting God and then just being like careless?
Well, that is a good question. Kind of reminds me of don't tempt the Lord as well, and don't willingly put yourself in danger.
Yeah.
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 So maybe when it gets to the point where you cannot do basic things, like I can't leave the house because I may get run over,
Okay.
I think that's when you're like, saying that God can't protect you. As for vaccination,
Yeah.
I personally will vaccinate my children.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I do believe that vaccination is a great thing. It's something that humans came up. If you are exposed to a weakened version of the virus or a fake virus, you can be stronger against the real version. And I believe that it's a great thing to kind of highlight the creation of God. So I don't think it's meant to downplay God, because the way some people on the internet see it is, oh, you're getting a vaccine because you don't trust God.
Okay.
But why does the vaccine work? Because you have an immune system which is smart enough to recognize the threats and adapt.
I like that.
So
like that.
I repelled your question.
Yeah, it's good. So basically what you're saying
I won.
is,
That's what.
yeah, I do. I like that. I like that take of it. I've never really thought about it like that.
Yeah, because when it comes to questions that are attacking Christianity or a certain aspect of it, you always have to look at it from different angles. Sometimes it's not just the thing you asked, and it's also about the things surrounding it. So I believe that that's an okay take home. So if there's one thing you take home today, get vaccinated.
Get the vaccine. Yeah. So another thing that I wanted to talk about was like this topic kind of really reminds me of our last episode.
Yes.
So like this,
I knew you were going
the
to bring
science versus faith thing, and because now we're talking about specifically miracles and medication, right?
that. So going back to the previous topic,
Yeah, I noticed like a link. I think something we said last time was miracles are basically what happens when God can like step outside of the rules that He's set in place. Something along those lines. I
love
do
that topic.
think that when medication does fall through, and when the medicine doesn't work, when the doctors don't do their bit well, or mistakes happen, or the surgery doesn't work,
trust in God.
God can intervene in those moments, and especially in those moments, I think it is important to,
Pray.
yeah, and give the respect to, not respect, but like give the credit to who the credit is due to. Which in any case, I think the credit is always to God.
Definitely, definitely.
Whether no matter how it turns out, or what avenue a healing happens, or a surgery pans out, I think it's always a God thing. Always. So yeah, I just think that the main crux of it is, no matter how things happen according to health, I think it's always just God, right? But on our side, when it comes to trusting in how God performs the healings, I think we should, this is me, I think we should not be too careless about how we trust God. Always put your trust in Him.
Yes, yes.
But, put your seatbelt on.
And also because, God is not your magical genie.
There is that. Yeah.
Yeah. Jump out the skyscraper, let the angels come and save me.
Yeah. So there's that. Anything else?
No, it's going to actually summarize what we talked about. So, of course, we talked about the general topic, which was modern medicine against miracles, which used to be, just a faith, but this guy liked the title.
I like the alliteration. I wanted it to be...
I don't like English.
It's a catchy title.
So, modern medicine against miracles, which we talked about. Then we talked about whether God likes medicine and doctors. We went to the Bible. We talked about how Jesus basically performed medical miracle.
Yeah,
medical miracle.
medical miracle. And one of the disciples was literally a physician.
Luke was a physician.
So, you can't say God doesn't like medicine or like doctors.
And we also talked about vaccines.
Yes.
And how maybe the question isn't seen properly, and it's not whether you trust God and you should take a vaccine or not. It's more like, why take a vaccine in the first place?
Yeah.
And why does it work? So I think that's another way you could look at it, and you could give glory to God that a vaccine works, because in literal terms, injecting yourself with a virus should kill you.
If you think about it, yeah. You can also see it as God doesn't give us the spirit of fear, right? So if you feel like you're taking precautions because you're afraid, I would question that reasoning for why you would take a vaccine. If it's out of fear, then I don't think that's a great reason. You shouldn't want to take protection.
Yeah,
because you're afraid.
Especially struggle with that. It's something I've always struggled with. I used to be quite fearful, actually.
Okay.
Whenever there was something like a new sickness or whatever, I'll always be the first one to take a mask on, the first one to, notice any symptoms and all that, especially during the COVID.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
that must
it
have been
was
scary. Yeah.
It's also about the media, which may or may not be the next topic.
We'll
but,
talk
you know,
about
we
how
may-
media influences people's opinions eventually, you know?
But the media played a big role with that. So
Yeah.
if you're taking the vaccination out of fear, maybe that's not the best way of thinking about
Yeah.
it. And also, do you know something that you shouldn't be afraid of other than vaccines?
What?
To comment down below your ideas.
And
Can't be
follow us
afraid
on
of that.
Instagram. And also, we have a TikTok that you can follow as well.
And also, there's a PayPal that's going to come
There
up.
is not. You
There will be.
Again, no, there won't be.
What is your favorite moment of the podcast? Because I have mine.
You do? I'll let you go first. Please go first.
My favorite moment of the podcast is talking about the vaccines
Of course it was.
because I won.
You really thought you put me in a corner there.
I did.
And the truth is, there's a lot of, points of views about vaccines,
Yeah.
Do we trust the doctors that make them? Do you put your faith in the doctors or in the knowledge that God gives them, But that's like a whole other can of worms. I do like that.
I also liked how we could have, how we talked about whether God likes doctors, because that's not necessarily hinted. And I know this is not a sentiment shared by doctors, but sometimes it feels as if they're competing for the saving of lives. So,
like who gets the accolades? Like
yeah, who gets the credits?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was
Yeah.
cool talking about it. What about you?
I don't like picking the last thing that we talked about as my elevated moment.
He doesn't remember anything. He just forgot everything.
No, I do like, you shouldn't base your decisions or the actions that you make out of fear. Just trust in God. He is the giver of life. He is the protector, So don't do things because you're afraid of what God might not be able to do, because there is nothing that he can't do. I think that is an important moment that I need to remember as well. Not only in medicine, just in any part of my life. Don't act out of fear. Yeah.
That's actually quite important if you think about it.
Yeah.
If you're not fearful, you're gonna do everything in life.
Don't be fearful, but also
Don't be
behave.
fearless.
Behave.
Nah, crazy. I am fearful now.
Yeah, you hear those sirens. Anyways, yeah.
So yeah, that's a great way to
To round it up,
yes.
that's a great way to round it up.
with the sirens.
Thank you very much for listening to this episode. Please share your opinions, what you think, in the comments or our Instagram or our TikTok.
This is the Upper Room Podcast.
This is the-
And we out.
God bless.